let's roll with this take here, and I'd love to hear your opinion on your beloved Phoenix Suns. You guys need a head coach, and the names that are qualified, probably best to take your spot, are slowly but surely drying up. I guess the first one that's now committed to taking on the Sixers challenge is Nick Nurse, and he's now off the board. Prominent on your interest list is Doc Rivers. I don't know. Maybe you can unpack some of your thoughts on Doc Rivers. But hey, ultimately, I guess I'm curious who you think should be the best coach candidate to take over the Phoenix Suns and where you guys are at now and where you guys want to get to. Because I'm running out of names here that actually make any sense.
The Doc Rivers still being on the market is a scary concept, and a lot of people really praise him. They really praise like he unifies a locker room, and you're kind of looking at Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton still on the books, and you wonder there's clearly some animosity. Clearly, someone needs to come in and help this out and mediate this, and that's where Doc Rivers just seems like a really logical candidate. And then when we get to the playoffs, weird collapses. There's weird collapses. And let's not forget that Phoenix are now 2 years consecutive losing at home in an elimination game by 30 points or more, like down at half. That is not the culture we want either. And Doc Rivers is not going to come in and change that culture. In fact, Doc Rivers is going to come in and allow us to be up 3 games to 1 or 3 games to 2 and then lose on home by 30 points again. So, who are the candidates that we think of? I can't give you a straight answer because I think it could be an assistant coach. I think Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving may or may not have a say on this, depending on what on earth happens in this offseason. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw a name out, and it's a weird call, but it's a call. What if Steve Nash comes home? What if Steve Nash and Kevin Durant were actually on good terms, and the issue was between Steve Nash and Kyrie Irving? What if that was the main issue? And what if Steve Nash says, hey, my coaching philosophy has always been if we put the ball in the hoop more than the other team, we're going to win. And we have two guys that are really good at doing that. And they just proved it against what will probably be the potential, or no, not potential, the inevitable NBA champions. That's actually an effective strategy. That wins you games. So we're going to do run and gun 2.0 with Steve Nash at the helm this time.
I,
And Mike D'Antoni is going to come slot in to the
I,
side point.
I think
And we're going to, no, I need to finish this up. I'm going to be a teenager again, enjoying Steve Nash having the Phoenix Suns lead the NBA in the offense. And all of a sudden, I feel very uplifted in the clouds with where this has went. So thank you. Thank you for
yeah,
this chat.
I do feel that your clouds are now suddenly become a hot topic. And I don't mind the whole 7 seconds or less concept here, but I think you're nominating the wrong name. I actually, you touched upon it. Effectively, if you want to go back 7 seconds or less, you're looking at hiring Mike D'Antoni. You're not looking to hire Steve Nash. You're looking to hire Mike D'Antoni and bring him back to the Valley and instill that offense, you know, that he bought many years ago and sort of, sort of really changed the league to a greater extent and go with that. And look, is Mike D'Antoni going to be able to get you guys over the hump? I don't know. But I guess he's probably motivated to get a ring before his time's up. He's probably not, going to have too many more coaching opportunities up his sleeve. I don't know. Maybe that's a reunion in itself. Obviously it's ironic looking at the coaching candidate list here. Top of the list now, besides Doc Rivers, now it's probably like Frank Vogel. Obviously, he got himself a ring at the Lakers there, and I got nothing bad to say against Frank Vogel. He was at the Magic for a little while. He had very little impact there, and we moved him on. Like I don't know, 2 years later, I don't know. Then he was more than happy to get a ring at the Lakers. So credit to him. But I guess there's some level of irony here. If you actually look at it all back now, right now, and who's still left on the board, feels like Monty Williams was probably still your best choice.
I think it will be interesting to see what comes out of that. And you do wonder internally if, how much sway does Kevin Durant have? How much does a new owner have? And then how much sway does Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton have? Now, public perception is Chris Paul and Monty Williams are incredibly close. And that was a big kind of co-collaboration to change the culture in Phoenix and make them a playoff contender every single year. So, is new ownership coming in looking at DeAndre Ayton saying, this is our number one draft pick. This is a guy that we've given 100 million to. He needs to feel heard. He needs to feel good. Maybe firing the coach will activate him and help him become more engaged in the process. And maybe there's a bit of a philosophy, an ignorant one, that Kevin Durant and Booker are good with whoever they ends up coaching them, so we'll be okay, irrelevant. And maybe it was done to placate DeAndre Ayton to activate him, because we kind of acknowledge that that's a bad contract to trade, and you will not get one for one, like for like. You will have to trade for role players. And then I think other teams, given this new CBA thing that we've mentioned before, things are tight. There's a hard cap, and Phoenix is very close to it already. There's there's a lot of things that are limiting them. So, as good as Monty Williams is, I I just think you could put a lot of coaches in that Phoenix situation, and they will make the playoffs irrelevant of what happens. And then it comes down to what can you do in the playoff series. You would love Ty Lue. Tyronn Lue would be a fantastic coach for us. And then if we could poach Eric Spoelstra from the Heat, that would be wonderful as well, because I think there's a real good way to activate those. But those coaches aren't going anywhere because they're good coaches and they'll stick with their team. So maybe it'll be an unknown name. Maybe it'll be Becky Hammond. I don't know. But Steve Nash, Mike D'Antoni, that would be the like wild card dark horse bet that probably is a lot more serious than it should be.
This is Two Guys with Spare Time. I'm Fowles, this is Nick. You're probably a basketball fan like us, so hopefully you can throw us an assist and giving our video a like and subscribing to our channel.
And if you got thoughts, feelings, or even some suggestions, please put them down in the comment section below. And thank you for using your spare time to watch us in our spare time.